Order, would you stand and say pledge allegiance with us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Let the record know everyone's present on the board. Okay, we have a public comment policy statement. If anybody wants to speak from the public, over to the table there and read the sheet there, the script, and fill out a form to make a public comment. At the end of the meeting, we will reserve about 30 minutes for public comment, but you will get 3 minutes yourself to speak on your topic. And the board will not respond unless the chair allows it. Okay? Okay. Consent agenda. Everybody look everything over?
I will make the motion to approve the consent agenda with the removal of item 2B from our agenda for today.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Do we have any new hires in here today? I think so. First up, Ellen Way, Iowa Veterans Foundation. Discussion on veterans banners on Veterans Memorial Highway. Hi, ladies.
Thank you. Did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead, welcome everybody.
Iowa Veterans Foundation, we're in the process of fundraising for 50 brackets along the Veterans Memorial Highway between South 24th Street and Market Drive, Metro Drive. Okay, so it would be along Veterans Memorial Highway between the shopping centers where the Metro crossing is and Marketplace. Okay, so we have a written endorsement from the city of Council Bluffs. We also have an Iowa DOT permit for this. And so we're in the process right now of getting estimates for the brackets. And we've been doing fundraising. We have around $15,000 right now for the brackets. We've got a couple of estimates, so we're getting real near what we need. Once we get those brackets done, probably around the April timeframe, we'll start, working on the veteran applications for the banners. And just to show you what it would roughly look like, this is one in the city of Clarinda. Ours would be a little bigger. This is 16 by 20. We're looking for 20 by 24. And also on ours, we would just have the photo of the veteran, name, rank, branch of service, and dates of service. And the reason we're limiting to that is the Iowa DOT permit. That's what they want and nothing more. So we're gonna work with that. So, yeah, on these brackets, we're in the process of getting a prototype right now. And once we get that, I'll be getting with Matt Cox with the Public Works and making sure that bracket that we believe is going to work will indeed work on those poles so that there won't be any sort of issue down the road. We're shooting for 100 banners and 50 brackets.
Because there'll be double-sided brackets, is what. they are.
Yes, there'd be 4 on each pole. There's room for more, by the way. If we get more money, we can ask for more applications from veterans. But there'd be 4, two facing each way, so that no matter what way you go along Veterans Memorial Highway, you'll see at least 2 on that pole. And one of the reasons that particular area was picked, the previous mayor, he liked that area. You don't get your speed up there a lot, and it's heavily traveled. So we felt that that would be a good spot for these banners. That's all I have.
The unfortunate part is the city of Council Bluffs does not pay for the brackets, so that's why we are going to be the owners of the brackets. And it will be used for veterans at this point in time, but down the road, we're hoping to expand it to maybe the police department, the fire department, to honor their service people. We're getting bids for the signs and working with them to make sure that they, if they're damaged, then that company will come and replace them or take them down, that type of thing, so.
Another thing the city's agreed to do is do the initial installation of the brackets and the banners. So that, they can be hung in such a way that they won't be too low, but not so high that people in the cars won't be able to see a good face.
So what's the life expectancy of the banners?
I've talked to a couple of different cities that are already doing this. And by the way, we are one of many cities that are working on this. Florinda and Woodbine are doing it, but you also got big cities like Rapid City, South Dakota, Mackinac City in Michigan. It's nationwide. And I've talked to a few project coordinators about that. And I'm hearing everything from 3 years to 8 years. And that's all dependent on if they're left up year round, or if, like after Veterans Day, if they're taken down for the winter and then put up again in the spring. One of the things that'll be determined on in this town is, the city's not gonna just let anybody go and take the banners up and down. And so we will have to rely on the city to tell us when we can get that done.
So this is just information, is that what
We're
you're-
requesting some funds to finish up the project for the purchase of the banners.
I turned in a form for $5,000 to Jeanette.
Okay,
But it's,
I'm from Audubon originally, and I do have a banner that they put veterans banners up on Main Street in Audubon through the summer. And I've gotten a lot of recognition and comments, and I really appreciate that effort on the city of Audubon's part. But yeah, okay.
so it's not on our agenda today to make a decision. We don't have the funding request in front of us for the packet, so we can have discussion so that we're ready to put it on the agenda next week or at a later time. It's been my experience when an organization puts banners together, it's a great idea and it adds color and pop and a lot of community spirit goes along with it. But as the banners fade or as the wind tears them up, they look shabby then, and then whose responsibility is it to fix it? I would suggest that your group, after the fundraising is completed, after everybody, I don't know if it's an MOU or what it is, everybody explains what their parts are, but that you convey the banners to the city of Council Bluffs as a gift and say, this is now your responsibility. You let us know when we need to replace banners or take care of them next. But you've got to have somebody who's responsible for them because it's going to be the city that gets the complaints. If we have a huge windstorm go through there, it's going to damage them. We want those veterans to be respected in all regards. We don't want.
The mayor expressed that concern too about making sure that they did didn't stay up after they got to a certain point where they looked weathered. And we assured them that we would be on top of that.
These banners are owned by the individual that purchased them. So we're putting in a stipulation that they'll be up for a certain period of time, taken down and, like Ellen's, given back to the veteran. So they own the banner. Then they make more applications because you got 100 veterans can go up the first year. Well, we want to honor more veterans the next year and the next year. That's how Woodbine has done it every year. And every year they get 60 to 70 new veterans or the same veterans to do it again. So this is not something that, oh, we're going to leave it up for 3 years and that's it. No, it's going to be on a rotation
Your
schedule.
group will be,
Our group is in charge of this
okay,
project.
and continuing to
Well,
get
yes.
people for the banners.
Yes,
My banner cost $250.
ours will not cost $250.
And my dad, me, and my cousin, Army, Marine Corps, and Navy, their banners were up there. They only put them up there in the summertime,
Mhm.
early spring and summer. Yeah, I wouldn't, my suggestion is not leave them up. all year.
No. They're not going to be up all year. We want to honor them during military time periods that are very important and poignant. Memorial Day to 1st of December type of thing. And then take them down to make sure they're not damaged or whatever, give them to the veteran, and then have a new application process for the next year.
Yeah,
Are
it's-
those light poles owned by the city or by the Mid-America?
Okay, the light poles are owned by the city.
Okay,
The lights themselves belong to Mid-America
Okay.
Energy. It's a state highway. So they're all kind of,
We had to get 3 permissions
yes,
to
Yes.
do this because it's a state highway, but the poles are owned by the city, but the state highway controls what goes on the poles.
okay.
and before I forget, we do have a fund set up at the Community Foundation. If anybody would be interested in an individual contribution, we do have a fund set up there.
Okay, we were putting some banners up in Crescent and they wanted a huge amount of liability for each pole. That's why I asked about Mid-American. Made it we could, that's why I asked if the city owns the poles.
The city's poles.
Okay,
Mhm.
good. Okay,
You're gonna get a lot of recognition.
Pardon?
You're gonna get a lot of recognition. People will be talking about it and they'll be interested in getting involved. I know that veterans especially, and the veterans. Yeah.
Yeah, the city of Gretna has banners up in their city. And it always amazes me how they look so nice all the time. And I've wondered what the quality of the material was and what their maintenance schedule was.
I have talked to a few different sign companies in the area. And I've showed them this one so that they could look at the quality we want for this. This has a opening for the bracket at the top and the bottom. It's also got this so that you can use a wire to tie. So this is something that we're looking at. You know, all different companies have different quality of the canvas and stuff, but we want something that's gonna last.
Mhm. Yeah, it will make an impressive display once it's put up. My concern is keeping it consistently impressive as time goes on.
I think it's important also to say that when we're talking to the banner companies, we're talking to banner companies that are willing to take responsibility for putting these up and renewing them and taking them down so they stay fresh.
And
So-
guaranteeing, and the
Yeah.
ones that we have talked to are guaranteeing, if they're damaged, they'll go and replace them.
There's a couple of different companies right here in town, so that if we get notified, hey, this one banner on such and such pole is messed up, you know, we're looking at local companies that can take care of them.
So the
So we
sign
do need extra money in our fund to handle the preventive maintenance that it's gonna take. And even once this project gets going, the fundraising is gonna continue. Because like she said, it's gonna be a continual thing, so we need to keep at it. And companies that we're talking to and individuals, I'm letting them know that, hey, we're gonna be coming back at you at some point for another donation. We're 501c3, so their taxes take care of it.
So the sign company is going to be responsible for taking them up and down. It's not the
Correct.
city.
That's what we'll have. No, the original, when the brackets go up, the city has agreed to put the brackets up and the banners up at the same time.
Yeah.
So they're up there one time. But if there's a damage to the banner themselves, the companies that we're talking to will replace them, take them down if they're damaged. So we have that in our agreements, that they would be responsible to go and fix it, take it down, put a new one up. So we'll have banners on hand. We have 100, we'll start with 100 banners. We'll have some just in case something happens to somebody's. And then the company will also back the banner. So they'll replace the banner themselves and put it back up. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Comments, questions?
Thank you for coming in today and
Thanks,
telling us more
everybody.
about the project.
Appreciate what you're doing.
You understand we can't make a decision on the funding today,
Correct.
correct? Okay.
That's fine. We're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Come in.
Okay, next up is Tuesday. Look at that in a second. Oh,
Angie, do you want to come across? We can hear you.
Nice to see you, Ellen. Good job, Ellen.
Hi, I'm Angie Remington with Golden Hills. I know some of you up here.
let me read this first. Angie Remington, Executive Director, Golden Hills RC&D. Discussion and/or decision to authorize the board chairman to sign memorandum of understanding for trails development governance.
That's right.
Okay.
So here with my colleagues and other representatives of what we've sort of unofficially been calling the steering committee for the Trails Coordinator position that was created last year with support from the county. So do you all want to introduce yourselves too, maybe?
I'm Connie Casson.
Too much. Two are on the Ottawa Conservation Trail Association, Franco with the Conservation Department.
Yes. And then Brian Shea has been the representative from the Board of Supervisors in this committee as well. So yeah, in front of you, you have the MOU that just sort of outlines the different roles of our respective organizations. And essentially, the Trails Coordinator, his name is Charlie Schilling. I would love to bring him in to meet you all soon. He couldn't make it today, but he is he's an employee of Golden Hills, and I manage his workflow, his day-to-day, but he really exists to enact the priorities of county conservation in the county, since he's managing millions of dollars in county assets. So that's where we work together to create his goals and his priorities. And then I'm there to make sure he has the resources he needs and he is getting the work done. I'm there to manage any performance issues that could come up, or to kind of be the liaison between the rest of the group if somebody needs to say, hey, where's Charlie? So yeah, I don't
Questions?
have any questions about it.
This, good, I'm sorry, Tim, one I'll add on, Angie,
Mhm.
real quick. I think it's good just to recognize that the trails development out of Ottawa County this is really a group effort. This is something for the betterment of the entire county, assets in the county, the betterment of the small towns, and this is a collaborative effort, representative people, just citizens and volunteers, and then 501c3 fiscal agents and the county itself to make this happen. There's also, as part of this memorandum, a statewide representative as well from the Iowa National Heritage Foundation who represents kind of their trails position as well. So this is really something that we're hoping is a very well-informed group, very balanced group in their decision-making ability, and that the direction this group can provide Charlie, the trails coordinator, is really going to be the best direction that he can get from a statewide level, regional kind of look at things, but also the local as well.
Okay.
Talk to me a little bit, either Connie or Joe, on that first part of the agreement where it says, let me get there again. And the Potawatomi County Board of Supervisors, collectively the partners, to support and oversee the work of the Potawatomi County Trails Coordinator. Who's going to do that? Not us.
No, so the asset belongs to the county.
Okay.
The position reports to Golden Hills. So we needed this position to report somewhere, to have a team, to have access to benefits and things like that. Angie, organization Golden Hills is an umbrella for lots of different county initiatives. And this so Golden Hills was the place that, after discussion, we decided to have the position hosted by Golden Hills. Pot County Trails Association is the 501c3 that supports the trail development, but we're not set up to employ anyone, and we're all volunteers.
We approved the job description last
So we did.
Yes, and this kind of pieces some more of the,
This says who's on
Exactly.
first of how do we supervise the position and make sure that the person in the position is getting the work done and that we're getting reports back from that person to make sure that we're making progress on trail development and maintenance. And meeting the deliverables of funders as well. That's part of my role, is to make sure that we are fulfilling those obligations to our funders.
yeah, Angie and I've had several conversations where I've told her that there's lots of eyes on this individual,
Mhm.
making sure that they are moving the needle, that they are being successful. And that's where it's like, okay, we need this governing document to kind of help move that along and just to remove any concerns that come up down the line. We have a place for resolution and making sure that we are truly building trails in the county.
And Tim, I think to tie your question, this document, you talked about who's going to support and oversee. That's really going to happen at two levels. One is what this MOU does. It puts together kind of the steering committee that will provide very high level direction for the trails coordinator position, understanding the direction that collectively as a group, both from state perspective, but also the local perspective, where we'd like that person to go with their efforts. The day-to-day oversight is going to come from Angie with Golden Hills. So it's really going to happen at two levels. And that upper level coordination and oversight, that's what this MOU is really about. Putting that group together so there's an understanding of how we need to be working together to provide that high level oversight.
Well, maybe I read that incorrectly then, because it said, and the Potawatomi County Board of Supervisors to support and oversee the work of the Potawatomi Trails Coordinator.
So there will be one representative from the Board of Supervisors as part of this oversight committee. And so right now, that's Brian Shea who's representing. So that group, that's collectively known as the department, will provide that high level oversight.
So this board as a unit's not overseeing this person.
Correct.
Not the day-to-day stuff.
Good. We're not talking about any funding today either, right?
No.
We're just moving forward with the guys already been hired though, right?
Yep. He started in early November. Well, he started in October on contract for a few weeks, then officially joined the Golden Hills team in early November. And it's nice to have a part of the Golden Hills team to some extent because we have an outdoor recreation and tourism program and we work on trails in a lot of other surrounding counties. And so that way this position doesn't exist in a vacuum. He's aware of what's happening with other counties' trail plans and can make sure that he's informing us, the committee, of how those may be cohesive in the future.
For example, last night, matter of fact, myself, Lance Brisboy, another Golden Hills employee, and Charlie attended a city council meeting in Persia There's another project north of them in Pisgah and Panama. And so there just makes logic sense that it may tie into what we're trying to establish here in Potawatomi County. So just spreading that information. Charlie was really interactive with them and did a good job of, for his early stage, explaining what we're doing, what our mission is, and how we can try and assist them. He attends each of our monthly meetings so far for the association, and I went to what was the
Iowa Bike Expo.
yeah, the one prior to that, but we
Summit.
did the summit,
Yeah.
bicycle trail summit. Him and I spent a couple days up there together, just learning about trail stuff. So he's getting spun up pretty quickly, I think, and I believe he's attending something this afternoon in Des Moines or tomorrow.
Yep, I believe that's
So-
today.
He's getting plugged in, and so far I think he's doing a pretty good job, everything considered.
That regional connectivity, I think it's also important to recognize that it's going to continue to allow Potawatomi County to be a leader in tourism, recreation development, quality of life development in Southwest Iowa as a whole. We'll be leading this charge in a lot of ways with this position. So that's a critical piece.
So is the Conservation Board prepared to sign this agreement as well
So I'll be signing on their behalf. We'll discuss that this evening as well.
in your meetings tonight? And what about the Iowa National Heritage Foundation?
Andrea Bolton, she's been reporting back with their group. So if we can get you guys going, then we can move forward with all the others. This board.
Okay.
Who is providing legal advice to this group? Anybody?
Potawatomi County's legal team has been providing legal advice
Okay.
for the trail development for the past 12 years, I believe.
Okay.
Probably
Did
continue.
you take a look at this, Kristen?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You okay with it?
Well, Brian, I will make a motion to approve the board chair to sign the MOU for trails development.
Okay.
Second the motion.
Discussion? Questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Those opposed? Motion carried. Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Jeff, I'll leave this with. Yeah. Jeff,
Good morning.
how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Tim?
Good morning. How are you?
Good.
Good. This should be part of your packet, but I wanted to make sure you have copies. I think I handed it all. Are you today?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Brian. You're welcome.
Brian, Kim?
Good morning, Sue. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Good. Good morning.
Okay. Next up, Garfield Coleman, Manager of Safety Risk Management. Jeff Bramer, and Kim Arfman. Smith Davis Insurance. Discussion and/or decision to approve Potawatomi County 2026 ICAP and IMWCA insurance renewals.
Good morning. It's that time of year again. One of the things that I wanted to bring up is that ICAP is moving their renewal date from March to March, February to February. So I wanted to make you aware of that. So, and it's something to do with reassurance. And so that's gonna come up in the discussion here in a little bit. So then I'm gonna just turn it over to Jeff so he can start covering some numbers. Go ahead, Jeff.
Absolutely, absolutely. So in front of you, this packet shows what our values have done. We've moved some values around. Basically, it was ICAP's reclassification of EDP, which is your electronic data processing equipment. Now they are putting that in personal property. So it's all lumped in there. That's why you have a spike there in value of 51%, because you have about $500,000 worth of EDP being moved to that, as well as the fine arts is also moved into personal property. Overall, our values are up 10%, and that's of your buildings, personal property, scheduled equipment and unscheduled equipment, and then your auto physical damage, which would include all all vehicles in the county. So our second page shows, at the top line is total contribution. Total contribution is up 6%. So $76,662. So contribution from 1.2 to 1.3. And then we have line items. Our property, up a little bit. Our value was also up a little bit there. So 7% there. Thankfully, we saw some savings with general liability. Our officers, liability for wrongful acts is up 4%. So fairly flat. Law enforcement liability is up 2%. Auto liability up 4%. Our cyber breach, we increased limits there. So Kim, we were at what?
250.
250,000. We increased that limit to $1 million. And we do have the ability now, or at least the capacity to go to 3 million. So we have options for 2 million and 3 million for cyber breach.
We did a study, we did a study with our IT department, and that's what we came up with, the 1 million. David Byer and myself and his staff looked at all our infrastructures of IT. And that's how we come up to that 1 million number. So it's been going on for about a year, I think, way back to look at the increase. So
Yeah, and we had capacity. There were some companies out there that weren't offering higher limits, so we would have to accept the limits that they were offering. So $1 million is what we have currently, but I just wanted to make you guys aware that there are 2 million and 3 million available as well. Excess liability was flat. Your bonds, your auto physical damage, switched places there. Bonds was down 5%, and then our auto physical damage was up 7%, and ICAP fee was down 2%. The next page shows our claims. So 2023, 2024, and 2025 payouts, and that is going in the wrong direction. However, we are trying to control our controllables, and we can't control the weather. So property, we had quite a few hailstorms last year. We're still working on getting some of those paid. I was actually in talking with Jake earlier, and most of those are looking like they're getting paid out in a timely fashion. Our auto physical damage was up too, and that's due to hail as well. So overall, I think things are looking good there. Mount Crescent, we realigned the effective dates on that as well, just to make it easier. I think we were a November renewal on the ski hill, and that was just getting too close to when snow starts flying.
It was difficult with the liquor liability, getting that in place before opening. It was just very congested at that point. So we moved it to a 7/1 date.
So we worked with Jeff on that as well to help him out with his preparing to open up. So we moved it closer.
Yeah. Rate is fairly flat there. However, revenue increased from just shy of 1 million to almost 1.2 million. So 23% increase in sales there at the ski hills there. And then our workers' compensation, this is, it's not as good a news as what we've had in the past. Our experience mod was based off of $549,000 worth of losses. And because we had such a good year drop off and we picked up a year with worst exposure, our experience mod went from a 0.70 to a 0.88. It's still quite a bit under what we've at our high, but it's still a little bit higher. I do believe this last year we had such good work comp experience that this next year we should see it go down below this 0.88.
Okay.
But there was about $100,000 worth of increase there in our work comp year over year.
Garfield, if I'm not mistaken, didn't we hear from the jail and there were no work comp claims?
There was no work comp claims last year at all, so that's gonna help. So
At the jail or secondary roads.
jail or secondary roads, that's correct. We had some calls to come to nurse, which we encourage, but the jail and secondary roads, and if you know that, those are the ones that really, the jobs that they do is a very high job, so.
When's the last time we had that?
I couldn't ever, I don't think we ever, so.
Been on my time.
Not since I've been here, so that's big kudos to the jail and the Rose Department, so.
Good.
Kim, if I can ask, these numbers are a little different than the ones that were presented at the meeting.
Correct. And that was of your request, because I had put in, because of the extension, there was an additional month in those numbers that I presented first of all.
Okay.
And you had asked for apples to apples, comparison to comparison. So I did a 12-month term. And that's where the numbers currently sit, is 12-month to 12-month.
When we talked at the meeting, we were about a $60,000 difference at the meeting. Now we're almost 80.
Yes.
Where'd that extra cost come in? Am I missing it somewhere?
You know, I think it was a calculation of us on the fly, because we were 13 months and what happened is we were 13 months at the old rate. So we're at last year's rate. And when we compared it with this
I can
new
look at that one.
rate, I think that's where our anomaly with the math worked out. So this is, we basically have that 13th month has disappeared and we're basically going off the 12-month period to the 12-month period, but we have a 1-month extension. So it gives us time to have reinsurance numbers come in with ICAP because they get them at the first of the year and it's too big of a crunch there. And it also helps you guys with budgetary because we'll know the numbers in a more timely fashion for budget.
And as a reminder, guys, this comes out of general supplemental, not out of general.
Any other questions or concerns?
I appreciate the efforts of our roads team in the jail. I think we should make note of that.
It's a great job.
Maybe recognize that at a board meeting or.
I think we need to.
That's a
That's
big deal.
huge
It's
for our
never
county.
happened since I've
Absolutely.
been here.
Yep, it's a big deal.
Well, maybe that's true.
God, usually it's really tough.
It is. Sometimes
This year is,
it's been it's been rocky.
yeah,
It's nice to deliver a somewhat flat renewal.
it sure is.
Somewhat flat.
Yeah.
I don't consider that flat, but
Somewhat, he said.
Well, 37% was definitely not somewhat flat. So
Heck, our home insurances are going up more than that.
absolutely,
Right.
you know, it's a double whammy when you have values increase with inflation and then you have the rate trying to catch up to that as well.
Mhm.
You know, like Jeff said, with the property, most of the claims that we've been working for the last year, it's due to hail, wind and storm, of those, most of those property damages. In the past, you know, we had pit stops, we had a lot of deer heads, we had a lot of things like that. So that just tells me that the conversation that I'm having with the sheriff and his deputies out there, they're a little bit more aware of the surrounding areas. So they're improving on those areas as well too. Not just the work comp side, but, you know, we had, you know, a lot of pit stops, we had a lot of different things that was going on that was driving up numbers when it comes to the property. So now it's mostly weather. So we can't control weather. We can try, but we can't.
Questions? Motion?
you need those approvals, those renewals approved, Jeff?
Yes.
I believe we need something signed.
I'll do that for you, Brian.
Okay.
Okay.
Were you up first, Susan?
Like Marion got Jeff.
Okay. Yes. Got a motion and a second to approve the renewal. ICAP insurance. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Not
Appreciate it.
as easy as it was. Been some tough years there.
Yes.
I like that.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Garfield. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.
Next up, here's the big one. Kristen Brecker, attorney, discussion and or decision to approve and authorize board to sign 28E with the city of Neola.
Good morning. I am requesting that this be tabled for next week. I'm still waiting to get some revisions from Neola's attorney on the 2080 agreement.
It didn't come in.
He has not gotten it back to me yet. So I have nothing to present to the board that has been approved by both parties. So
It's in draft form right now, Kristen.
it is, I don't know what the changes are that they will be requesting.
Can you send the draft form to the board?
I would prefer to wait and send the draft form over with the proposed changes.
What's our time horizon now?
As soon as Clint gets it back to me. I mean, my, my end of things is mostly done. It depends on what they're gonna be requesting to change. If they're changing a lot of the agreement, I'm gonna have to circle back up with the roads department and make sure that those changes are okay with the roads department. And of course, I will have to make sure that they're legally sufficient. So if they're minor changes, I could get it back on for Tuesday. If they are not minor changes, it might be longer.
Okay. Questions, comments?
I think we had several people that took time off from work today that were really concerned about this matter. And I don't know what side of the equation you're on. But if
Opposition.
you're not in favor of the stop sign,
No, ma'am.
you're in favor of slowing down and managing your speeds and protecting your neighbors.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought.
We're in favor of that. It needs to be done in the right fashion. I mean, are we free to speak now? Or you want our opinion?
Well,
We usually go at the end, but I'm okay with you just for a minute.
State name and address is all.
Yep, please, name and address.
Tony Osborne. I live on San Neola. I'm one of the farmers that come to town for coffee. I apologize for that, guys. I come to town to do business. I probably spend on an average $250,000 a year in the city of Neola. And these guys here are businesses I spend money with. Coming into Neola from the interstate, I bring a semi in from unloading grain here in town. I can't make that corner now to go north. There's a sewer there, inlet, stop sign, and if you're gonna stop at the car, I gotta get in the other lane to make the curve. Now, you're gonna stick a sign out further, and usually cars see us coming, they'll get clear over towards the wall. But you ain't gonna be able to do that if there's a sign there. Now, I know there's once in a while a speeding truck through town. That stinks. I'm sorry, that's not us. And I don't think we need punished for it. And, you know, they put a speed bump sign or a speed bump in the road on the way into town. I bent my auger getting across it and I was going as slow as I could, but the tandems rocked it and bent my auger. Are they gonna pay for it? Farming's not a lot of money right now, and I don't need some uninsured motorist rear-ending me at this thing. Our equipment's so big, we can negotiate this. I say put up a big yellow flashing stop sign above where it's, everything's avoided. No, I'm not for speeding. I don't want to see somebody get hurt at all. But I don't need three people dictating what I can and can't do.
I think a flashing yellow light is a good idea.
Well, see, so, just for instance, I turned the corner, well, a car stopped. I had to stop. There's somebody sitting on the railroad tracks behind me. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to negotiate that? Who's gonna fix my flat tire when I hit that sewer inlet?
I've been a trucker for 20-some years. Problems that 18-wheelers have.
It's not the stopping for 10 seconds. Sorry. Great. But we cannot negotiate this corner. And then to stop 80,000 pounds every time I come into town, that's gonna be hard on the street. I don't get it. If we had several accidents, I get it, but there hasn't been. It's just, I'm sorry, you got three people, they ain't got enough time on their hands, and they wanna just do what they want. Well, I pay taxes on that road. I spent a lot of money in Neola. I feel I should have some say, without them just doing what they wanna do.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
I'll speak for a second. My name is Kyle Jensen. I live on 112 First Street, right in Neola. So I am actually the first road that comes into Neola from the north. I do have a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old, young driver. So they're, I kind of listened, I asked how many accidents were on, this road. And again, you asked the question, are we for safety and everything else? And guarantee yes. We already have a law in town. What is the speed limit? 25? I mean, I think we need to adhere to that law first before we add something else in there. So, we had the stop signs in there. There was a windstorm, 191, it is a detour for the interstate. So when that windstorm happened, they shut the interstate down, rerouted traffic through town. On First Street, we had backed up traffic enough that I couldn't get out on First Street. There was enough traffic backed out. And it just, to Tony's point, is the semis were already backed up almost to the interstate. I think there was a couple other witnesses that, I had asked how far out had it gone. Traffic couldn't get from the interstate out onto the road. We were backing traffic up. I worry more about my kids turning on First Street going north. And now with the stop sign, we block a lot of view to the south. So we worry about people coming in town. I just really worry about safety. I did also ask Burlington Northern what their opinion was on maybe having more traffic across the railroad, more often at that time, just because trucks can't turn. I really just think that, we put a stop sign in, who's going to regulate that? I listened to the previous minutes. Scott County Sheriff will be there to write tickets. Why don't we just have them there writing tickets for the speeding right now? I think that will take care of itself. Having another stop sign, I just think there's more accidents, like my young drivers will get rear-ended, trucks will still come into town fast. They're gonna stop between First Street and Second Street. They're not gonna slow down north of town. So I just think that we're gonna have, there was 2 accidents in 11 years? 4,015 days, 2 accidents. I just think that we're gonna have another accident sooner than that with a stop sign.
Thank you. Carl, you want to speak?
Brian Tomasiak. I live just outside Neola, but I'm manager of a business in town where we see a lot of big equipment, trucks, transports that haul hazardous materials. So whether they're flammable, combustible, or inhalation hazards. And to their points, these intersections aren't set up to handle these semi trucks that are hauling these hazardous materials. And if they get blocked up on the railroad tracks, even though they're all required to stop before them, but if people can't make the turns on these 4-way stop signs, they get stuck on the tracks. Or they have people when they're trying to cut corners, accidents could happen to them. And I don't want any of these material or these trucks with these materials getting hit, causing leaks, causing these hazardous spills, or whatever these trucks would have in them, whether it be fertilizer, ammonia, the stuff getting out into the environment. I think that poses more of a safety risk that way than putting these stop signs in. So I think, the risks there are greater than what it would be without the stop signs. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you.
I'm Dale Jensen, and I live on 2nd Street, which was where the stop signs were put up, whether they were put up properly or not. And it did cause, I come down to that. I have a business uptown, but most of my work is in the country, so I'm leaving town all the time, and I come down to that intersection. And it has worked fine for the 40 years that I have been in business there. And I probably come to that corner at least 5 times a day. And occasionally you have to wait just a little bit, but we've all figured that out. And if you start making changes to it for a reason that I think most of the residents of Neola are kind of baffled why there would need to be a change in the first place. So it's just a citizen saying no to that change.
The city councilman quit because of all the flack for it.
We've heard. You guys?
Anthony Grass, Neola.
I just think just write more tickets. Speeding is an issue. I mean, put a cop down there, 2 weeks, 1 mile an hour, write a ticket. I mean, if it's really that big of an issue, start writing tickets.
That'll slow them down. Slow me down.
Thank you.
Questions, comments?
Got one more, Jim.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you?
I am Aaron Wellman, live just west of Neola. I own a construction company in Neola right on that corner. We haul a lot of wide loads through there. That we can barely make the corner now, like Tony said. Put a stop sign in there, it's just gonna make it worse.
I think, it'd be premature for me to make any comments without seeing a 2080 agreement or hear from our
Correct.
engineer. However, I do believe that, speed reduction signs coming in and out of Neola might help quite a bit, but there's no action today. We don't have an agreement to even look
No.
at. I did hear every one of you, what you said. Tony, who was the council person that quit?
Nicole Snickloff.
That's too bad.
Yeah, she did a good job. She did a great job. They all do a good job, and the meaning behind what they're doing is great, but is it necessary? I just don't see 90% of us go through there at 25.
Yeah,
Not a problem.
I mean, I think
And
everyone.
to just have a few bad apples ruin the whole barrel. I invite you out you would invite any of you out to ride in my semi. I'd give you a ride to negotiate that curve if you would like to see.
Andy, did we change the signs out there?
We had to put in utility locate tickets to make sure we don't install a sign on top of
Sure.
a gas line. So they will be installed by next Friday.
Okay,
So I can get that map to the board again. But yeah, it's updated speed limit signage as you enter Neola. So it's instead of stepping you down from 55 to 25, it'll be 55 to 45 to 35 to 25,
That's great.
both on the south side and the north side of town.
The signs, and then, like I said, I like the idea, but yeah.
Overhead flashing sign catches everybody's eye when it's right over their head.
I do have a question, they were talking about a study that needs to be done that's in there. I mean, there was one done on the January 2025.
Correct.
Like I say, I guess as a citizen, I'd like to know what they found and I guess the best steps that other cities or other towns have found to do that to, I guess, slow traffic down. I mean, I know we've done angle parking, the bump outs, just, trying to just sneak around there. And there is always some traffic there and we can always argue why there's big trucks on that road, why they're not on the interstate, but that's something that will have to be changed some other time. So.
I don't think you can do that.
Well, right,
Yeah, they got the right to be there.
I think Neola as a city has a lot of good things going on right now with growth and more business. And I think what you're experiencing is growing pains. And I think some of it too is just that I call it the me mentality. It's all about me. I don't have to apply the rules. And I would really like everybody to be good neighbors and follow the speeds. And I know I'm dreaming, but I would sure like that to be the answer to this situation. It's like Carla, I don't want anybody to get hurt, but
Nobody does.
no.
But it's inevitable, whatever you do, somebody's gonna get hurt. You cannot stop it, is my point.
You can mitigate
It
it.
stinks, accidents happen. To me, you're gonna create another accident with a four-way stop, and the insurance people will tell you that.
I look forward to hearing from you two and, we'll keep everybody posted. And, the city of Neola, their attorney will have that as well. And please share your, comments with the city council. We're gonna do whatever we can, but there's farm to market money on that road too. There's a process for everything. And, this board is gonna follow the process set out by at least this board member is gonna follow the process set out by, our engineer.
You understand we're not taking any action today, right? Because,
Right,
it-
correct.
okay,
We just wanted to voice our concerns.
got it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming in today, you guys. Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
welcome. Captain Sam Markfeld and Mitch Kai, Chief Financial Officer, discussion on this decision to authorize Mitch Kai, Chief Financial Officer, to sign Motorola Project Milestone Certification, shipment of equipment from staging.
So, yeah, this can, me or Sam, he just happened to, one of the representatives have to put my name on this for the signature. But, basically, this is part of the contract we signed with Motorola. This is the stage they're at. They've shipped the equipment. Sam can verify that. It's been at what location is it at?
Well, so First Wireless is in the process of moving to a new facility. So we had to send them an email saying it was okay for them to ship it to their new facility because that address wasn't technically in the original contract. I have not physically been there to take any inventory. I mean, if that's something you feel I need to do, I will. But I guess we're acting upon the relationship that we have with First Wireless already. Mr. Bob Stephanie, who's been involved with this project, so.
And with signing this milestone certification, then we make the second installment payment that is due for $9,718,933.20.
I think they broke that up. So there should just be a 30% payment, not a 60% payment.
Then there's a contract change was that in that change order
That
number
was
one?
the change order one. That was the only change in that change order. So it should be,
4.5 million?
yeah, that's what it'll end up being. So we'll get that invoice as soon as we sign this.
Sam, real quick, once that, equipment is on the ground and paid for, we don't take ownership or responsibility for securing it, insuring it until it's actually on our site.
That was my understanding as well.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't have any issues with.
That motion?
Sure. I mean, I just don't think that any of us here, if we were to go over to a staging site for 911 communication, would know what is what.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't really matter. They don't get paid until it's complete.
Sure. Just to add a little more, we've been having meetings every other week. Susan joined this last meeting and we just, we're still early in the process and we're just talking about getting stuff ordered, such as the shelters for the location. Kristen's been working on the lease agreement for the new tower location up in the Crescent area. So as far as an update, that's kind of where we're at.
Yes.
That didn't get the agreement with Crescent last night. They just didn't have it. The attorney was out of town.
Sure.
I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so they're hopefully gonna do it next week.
Okay.
Just have to wait for the attorney to get back on vacation. Okay.
Any questions on the timeline? We've asked for an updated timeline. That's, they're hoping to have that to us when we do our detailed design review meeting, which they're anticipating might be the end of the month or the beginning of March.
Okay.
They're still working on those details.
Thanks for keeping us updated.
Yep.
Okay, I got a motion by Wickman and a second by Jorgensen to sign the Motorola project milestone certification. Any questions, comments?
To approve Mitch to sign that or?
Yes. It was just approved Mitch to sign it. Mitch, would you, at least alert the board when the next time comes where they're gonna request payment for other equipment that's on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of the discussion we were even thinking, like, do you guys want these milestones brought to you
Yes,
before we get the invoice? I thought that was the best way to do that.
Yeah,
So
I like
before we
it.
get the next one, you'll see the next milestone
All right,
certification too,
perfect.
just for all
I
of us,
can
because there's really only three more installments, right?
okay.
So, and they're big dollar amounts, so you guys should be aware of what's going on.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Did we lose something? Keys? Probably in the car.
Just stay longer. Got you to work.
Shoot. It's not good. Next up. Thanks, Sam.
Yep.
Hopefully, I think the 17th is the day for Crescent. They're gonna do that. So that'll be next week. Next up is Mitch Kai, Chief Financial Officer, discussion and or decision to authorize chair to sign the forgiveness portion of small town forgivable note for the city of Avoca.
Okay, so this is just, I think you guys all read the letter that came from the city of Avoca. They provided all their documentation on all their costs for the original, it's $125,000 that the board gave back to all the small towns. Was that 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago? So we're just wrapping up some of these last items. Avoca had originally requested an extension on their time frame because they wanted to, I think they did concrete instead of asphalt in their park. So everything fit the timeline of that, so I'd recommend approving this forgiveness for them.
I will make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
We've given them all their money, right, Mitch?
Yep.
Okay, got a motion to approve and a second. What, Miller and Jorgensen to forgive the city of Avoca of its small town forgivable note. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Cool. We're done with that one. Mitch Kai, Chief Financial Officer, discussion and or decision to authorize chair to sign the forgiveness portion of the small town forgivable note for the city of McClellan.
We have to do this one.
We ought to set it aside.
So once again, from the city's behalf, thank you guys for that. That was a very big deal and part of getting our city hall and maintenance building up. Part of the project too was also doing some repairs to the Veterans Monument. Obviously, the city building exhausted the 125, so you'll see all the receipts and invoices for that project. So once again, definitely thank you from the city and city council members and the residents of McClelland. With this one, we would have every city done with forgiveness with the exception of Minden, because Minden kind of changed after their tornado of what their priorities were. So I'm going to reach out to Minden and see if we can't rework the agreement to have, that fit into what they've already done. So we'll get that done because we want to try to get these all off the books by March. That's technically the repayment date if you don't have your documentation into us at the end of March. So.
Has Minden spent the money?
I mean, I have to imagine they have spent that somewhere.
Okay. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So we want to get them taken care of.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion to approve the forgivable note for the city of McClellan. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
I think that was a big deal for all our little towns.
It's been great to go through the towns and see everything that all the towns did with all their funding. It's been great.
Good. Okay, next up, Kristen Brocker, attorney, discussion under decision on employee parking. Oh, boy.
Have a better math this week.
Did you skip Dixie's?
Is Dixie on it?
Skip what?
Did we skip one?
Not yet.
You skipped me for the application.
Oh.
It might not be in the minutes.
It's not this.
Oh, it's not. It is on
But
the
it-
agenda. Oh, sorry.
It's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
It's in the packet, the right spot.
This one? Oh, okay.
I looked at all of those, Dixie,
Yeah.
the ones that had a change of
Hold on.
address.
Let's read this. I was reading off the other script.
Okay.
Dixie Wilson, Accounting Technician, Auditor's Office, discussion and their decision to approve, or disallow the following applications made to the Assessor's Office. Homestead, 252 recommended allowed, 4 recommended disallowed. Military, 20 recommended allowed, 0 recommended disallowed. Disabled Veteran Homestead, 17 recommended allowed, 0 recommended disallowed. Family Farm, 12 recommended allowed, 0 recommended disallowed. Okay, thanks. It was on one sheet, not the other.
Yeah, I looked at those, the 3 that had the change of address.
Yes.
Did they get referred back to the assessor's office, to fill out another application?
They have, that's what I do, is I send out letters to
Okay.
let them know that.
Right.
And I don't send the letters until I have the board's approval. So that will be my next step after the meeting, if everything's approved.
I'll make a motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Thanks, Dixie. Thanks for working on that. Okay, next up is our committee appointment. Sorry about that.
No.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, you can switch if you want.
Me around. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't
I'm
mind.
trying to avoid this one.
You and me both, Brian. Thank you. Okay. So I think with this current map, we are not removing spots from anybody who's currently parking in an assigned spot. And we are providing assigned spots to all of the department heads who, I think all of them who should be parking in either the north lot or the public health lot. I know, obviously, there are a couple department heads, like Andy doesn't often park in our parking lot, so he doesn't get one. I know Peggy usually parks by the VA building, so she shouldn't have one in this lot. It just wouldn't make sense. So not every department is accounted for on this particular map, but all the ones that should be are. We did have to take, there is a state court employee who is currently parking in the north lot who will not be getting a spot. But I think that that is reasonable. They currently have 4 spots for the administrative employees, and we've had to cut that down to 3. And we've cut it down to the 3 state employees who had spots before the parking lot was made, when it was just the annex building and the parking over there. So I think the parking lot committee all feels that this is a fairly fair placement for everybody. But obviously, this is the board's decision, so it's up to the board to approve what we have come up with. I don't know if you guys have any additional statements to make.
Nope, I think you said well. We all kind of agreed upon the same thing, so.
Yeah.
Just want the board to approve it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're staying there or moving?
So I have the Board of Supervisors moving over to the public health lot. I think you guys get spots starting from 4 going till 9. Which honestly, it sounds like they might be a little closer than the spots you guys are in now, so it might all work out a little better for you, unintentionally.
4 to 9. And that'll alleviate the problem in the north lot.
Absolutely. It should give everybody who should have a spot, a spot. We're able to add a spot for 911 as well, since they are adding a position for that overnight.
Good.
That way that person will not have to like move their car in the middle of the night or go out and walk out to the, other lot at 12 o'clock at night. So we were hoping to give them 1 extra spot, and we were able to do that.
Okay.
I'd like to add, as part of this, we were gonna remove the reserve signs from the elections building lot, except for the number 1 spot, which Suzanne had mentioned, or I'm sorry, Susan had mentioned, she wanted to park in. So, that would leave all the parking in the elections building open, first come, first served.
For employees.
I can move with the other supervisors, so depending on election cycles, it doesn't mess things up. I mean, we have 5 spots over there.
Okay, I'm comfortable with it
Did you
myself.
keep your drop off for vendors? You mentioned,
Yeah, we did, buildings and grounds, they designated 2 spots. So depending on what's going on that day, we'll use those spots accordingly.
Okay.
So, and I know that, on your map where they have where you have the label, the list of all the people, spots A through F are not labeled on your physical map. Those are the unmarked spots starting nearest the road, touching the courthouse building. A starts by the road and it goes all the way over. So those are the building and ground spots are down there. And the generator is that big square in between those 4 spots on one side and 4 on the other. And if you want me to come point them out, I will, because it's a really tiny map.
See it?
The supervisor's parking there at the public health.
On the west side.
Right, is that gonna be identified as reserved in some
Yep,
fashion?
yep. I think Jason said that as soon as we can paint the spots reserved, we will.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm assuming we have to wait until weather's right for it, but
Once it warms up, we'll paint all those spots reserved on the pavement.
And I think that the parking lot committee suggested that maybe this new parking map go into effect, should the board approve it, as of February 16th. I understand that the county is closed for a holiday, but the state courts are not closed for a holiday, so it might be a good day to just start it. That's where everybody's gonna start parking as of that day, to give everybody a little bit of notice. There's no confusion tomorrow or anything shuffling around. And then if the board would approve it, I would be happy to send out an email to the people who are getting a spot, or all county or whatever the board would suggest.
Okay.
Jason, I haven't noticed, do you have signs up that say, courthouse parking only, violators will be towed? Reserved parking, violators will be towed?
In the north lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We've actually invested some money in some signage there that states it's a tow-away zone. We've had big banners mounted on that fence where we keep our recycled containers in our dumpster. I mean, we can even do more. I mean, I've thought about putting vinyl lettering on the side of that generator or something, just saying it's a reserved parking lot, but we've made it as visible as we possibly can.
I think those signs you put up did help a lot. Hey, anybody want to make a motion?
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the parking situation. Appreciate it.
I don't have any issues with it at all.
Okay,
I appreciate the efforts of the committee.
yes.
Again, I apologize for putting you in this position, but this is a good solution.
I got a motion and I need a second.
So move. Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve the employee parking decision. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Wow. A long year, wasn't it?
So would you like me to send out an email or do you want to do it?
No, go ahead. You guys worked on it.
All right, I'll send out an email to
Appreciate the work you done.
all the parties affected.
Thank you. Thanks for taking that on. We'll just start parking over there.
And then after this, I think Jason volunteered to be fully in charge of all the
Okay.
parking lots.
I was gonna nominate Lee since he's not here.
You gotta show up to the meetings or you're gonna be involved. Thank you. Okay, committee meetings.
Me,
Yeah.
well, I had a department head meeting last Thursday. interesting discussion, of course, by the sessions going on, so I appreciate everybody that was able to be there to speak their mind and give us a little bit of clue of what they thought. Appreciate it. That's all I have.
Plus Hill Alliance, done a trail steering committee, we done budget. Marilyn Kennedy retired, and I've done Board of Health. Done a conservation. And I met with planning and zoning. And then the, emergency management. Done a meeting over there with ISAC, and then yesterday was a VA.
I participated in the Motorola radio project status call update. The comp board with the elected officials, we did that last Thursday. Marilyn Kennedy's retirement. I attended the ISAC meeting with that EMA had coordinated. And then on Saturday, I drove to Avoca and met the new city administrator there. And she's hit the ground running, and I look forward to good things working with her going forward.
Good, good. Kim?
Brian, you mentioned that there is a lease with the city of Crescent on for that tower.
Yes,
Has our attorney looked at that, reviewed that?
she wrote it up, and then they sent it to their attorney who was out of town.
Okay. When does the board get to see that?
As soon as I get it back from Joe.
And then
When
we'll
you get
vote on it.
when you get it back from Crescent, that's when it's a final document?
No, when I get it back from Joe, we need to have it approved for here. So it's not on the agenda until I have approval from Joe.
Is it too much to ask to send it to the board for review? How long of a lease is it?
I think it's 3 pages.
Pardon me?
It's like 3 pages.
No. Years.
Oh,
I think it was 10 years.
I think 10 years, yeah, with 4 or 5 year recurring. So it'll be 30 years total.
Is there a cancellation clause from the city of Crescent?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you send that to the board?
Yes, I can send it to the board once I have it back from Joe.
He just was out of town.
Should be
Kind of
soon.
screwed
I've
things
talked to
up
him
a
a few
little bit.
times, so.
Okay. Sam, you guys been waiting for that?
Well, I feel like it's the first step before they start
Mhm.
doing
Okay.
surveying and things like that, so. Not to say that they're gonna jump on it next week as soon as it's signed, but.
Right.
It's just one of those key components that needs to be done.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I just think,
Yeah, we
if
don't-
it gets into the board, it could eliminate any delays once it gets here if a board member has an issue with a contract. I don't understand why it's so difficult to send the draft, but a bit.
Okay. Public comments. You got any signed up?
Joe Much.
So I just wanted to,
Say your name and
Joe
address.
Much, 705 Third Street in the Old Island. Thank you, guys. Feel like you've been kind of put in the middle of this traffic stop situation in the Old Island. I appreciate the fact that you gave fellow citizens an opportunity to speak. There's a lot of folks in opposition of it, obviously. And I just wanted to remind everybody the particular reason why this was brought in the first place due to the safety concern of pedestrians and the citizens within the town. There were many valid points raised about traffic, and their capacity and ability to move, but that cannot overrule the simple fact of public safety and the need of the city to regulate and control itself as it sees that it needs to. So I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate the efforts of the 2080 agreement, and hopefully that bears good fruit. And the engineering department's mission to try and reestablish a better signage is fantastic. But just wanted to reiterate the real reason for all of this, and ask you guys please not to lose sight of that as you deliberate the majority of it. Appreciate you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
Anyone else?
That's fine. I did. No, there's no one else.
Okay.
We have a closed session, Taylor, just going into budget session.
You want to like suspend or pause the regular meeting, or budget study session, and then come back to closed session?
Say that again?
I mean, do we want to like pause or postpone this meeting so we can do the budget study session meeting and then come back to the closed session? After that, we have people coming at 11:30 budget study session.
Well, is Jasmine here?
I don't think so.
I've seen her.
If she's okay with that, I don't have the issue. We did set a budget hearing at 11:30.
Right. That's what I would recommend doing. Thank you. So the closed session is going to take.
What's that?
Half hour worth of it.
I just said thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, closed session is going to be half hour.
Half hour to an hour maybe.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, thank you guys for your time.
Yeah, thanks for what you do.
Yeah, we're hoping to bring this to you, but yeah, we'll get comments back and let you know.
You guys are still on.
This is posted with a start time of 11:30. So who's coming to this meeting? The budget study?
The sheriff.
Yeah.
Right, somebody.
The,
Jasmine, we're trying to figure out timing here.
Okay. Want me to go after the study? Because you're at 11:30.
Is that all right? Are you available after?
I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
all right, so what do you want?
That'll
We
work.
need, we need
We'll do
to,
this.
we need to pause the meeting and have our study session,
I think that's a good idea. Look,
and then we'll just reconvene and,
Closed session.
do the closed.
yeah, let's see, I need to make a motion to,
You don't need to go out, for a study session. We're just going right into the study session, correct?
Right.
It's a separate meeting.
Oh, you're making it separate. Okay. Well, then.
yeah, so
They have an agenda.
I'll make a motion to, suspend, this board meeting until after budget,
It's over, then we're gonna go.
which approximately will be 12:15. I'll suspend the meeting until 12:15. Is that what you want?
That'll work.
Second that.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried.